They got a little Yoda on them.
No, what are they? Damn. All right, this is Coach Munoz and Big Rob.
That's right. Welcome back, guys.
We have a special guest today.
Definitely.
Flying in from Colorado.
Colorado kid.
Colorado in the house. Name is Sidney. So what's up, Sidney? Tell us a little something about yourself.
Yeah.
I'm your daughter.
Something the most
Nobody
don't know that.
really mentioned that part, so yes. I'm happy to be here.
I'm happy. Okay, we're excited to have you.
Definitely.
Can you tell us a little bit more, like when did you get high school? What are you doing? What are you doing now? And what are your aspirations?
When did I get out of high school? I got out. I dropped out 2018. I got my GED.
Okay.
I took probably about a year or two off. I went back to school in 2020 for aesthetics. Graduated April 2021.
Nice, congrats.
Thank you. I got licensed in the state of Colorado for aesthetics.
If you're in Colorado, hit her up. She'll give you a facial.
No, sadly, not yet. European Wax Center.
But you know what I meant.
Yeah, whatever. I got licensed in October. I got my job at European Wax Center in November, and I've been there for the last couple months.
Nice. What made you get into becoming an esthetician?
To me, it was, it was kind of like a thing where I didn't want to go to college. I knew I didn't want to go to college. I knew anything that I wanted to do in the business or engineering, I didn't want to do that. And I knew I needed to do something with myself. So I started looking into trade schools, and then aesthetics really intrigued my interest.
Cool.
When I started doing facials, it became more of like a holistic thing for me. Being very in tune with somebody's energy and taking away the negative, giving,
Nice.
Positive back.
Nice.
And I just fell in love with it.
So you love what you do.
I really do.
That's great. Not a lot of people nowadays love what they do and just do it because it's going to provide money for them in their pocket and it's going to pay the bills. Not many people put emphasis in their job like they used to back then. So
Right.
That's what's really good.
So let me ask you something about when you talk about a holistic approach towards people's energy. How does that? Do you pick up on their energy, or how does that work?
I think I don't see your aura or anything like that.
Right.
Right. But I am very much into the crystals and the incense and cleansing with smoke and being
Sage.
Yes, and in tune with the moon. And I think your spirituality is a very big part of it. I like people. I'm a very people person. I was in the restaurant industry for 6 years, hostessing, serving, bartending, and I hated it. I didn't know, that's not what I wanted to do with my life. So when I got into aesthetics and I started, kind of getting into that, I think my grandma, my mom's mom, definitely helped kind of push me into that because she's also very much like me. She does Reiki. She's, very much into the spiritual thing, but she also puts it into her religion as well.
Nice. So you pretty much got a vibe from her, and that's what you wanted to do, and you fed off of it.
Yes.
That's good. Yeah. That's really cool. That's cool.
All right. What else, Rob?
Well, honestly, since we last talked, I actually decided to go back to school.
Good.
And I want to share something with you guys. This is something that we had a conversation earlier this evening. So technically right now we're at Sophia's after party. This is Sophia's. This is the
after party.
After party podcast for Sophia's birthday today.
Big three.
Yep. Try, cool. I don't want to get shot, bro. So you and I have talked about what I wanted to do and where I see myself. I brought up a subject to you a couple months ago that, I was telling you that I wanted to probably do phlebotomy. And you immediately pushed it and said, do it, go for it, get it. And I said, all right, cool. So I went home and I thought about it for a couple of days. You had already texted me about school and what schools to do and kind of thought about it. I'm like, that's not something I really want to do because I'm not really going to like it. And I want to do something that I want to like.
Right.
Many years ago when I lived in Arizona, I helped a buddy of mine. He built a stable for his horses, and the guy that was there was welding, and I liked, the whole welding thing. So I was looking into welding, and I brought it up to you, and I said, hey, you know what, man, I think I want to do welding. And immediately, Johnny, on the spot, you were like, all right, let's find schools. Let's see what we can do. Let's see how we can get it done. And to be honest with you guys, man, I like the motivation, the backing that I've had from coach in general. It's something that's pushed me to go and pursue what I want, because this is what I want to do. It's not only that, but just the feedback, the positivity that I got from him. And I've been surrounded by a lot of negativity in regards to me wanting to go back to school and do this. So when I presented this to, other people, they were like, are you sure that's what you want to do? And then normally in any circle of friends you have, there's always going to be negativity, but you have to look at it, the positivity of it all. So I went to school, I talked to the advisor. The advisor was just like, yeah, man, we'll see what we can do. He had me take an assessment test. I passed the assessment test. And he came back to me like 3 days later and he was just like, hey, man, we don't have any openings right now till April. I was like, fuck. Got on the phone with Alfredo. It's like, hey, bro, you know what, man? There's not going to be any openings till April. I was pretty bummed out. I was on the phone and I was talking to him. And grown as man, I was crying. I was pissed. I was upset that they didn't have any openings and that the dude had led me on to think that, yeah, we'll get you signed up, we'll get you going. So Alfredo told me, because I told him, I was like, dude, I need to get this done now, because if I don't do it now, I'm gonna lose motivation, and I'm motivated to get this out of the way, and I want to do it. And Alfredo always told me, stay focused, stay motivated, be ready. Previously to us having any conversation about school or anything, I was at the point in my life where I don't know what the fuck I wanted to do, where I wanted to go. My mindset was different. My mindset was just like, yeah, I gave into the negativity, but listening to Coach, have him tell me what he was telling me, the talks we've had, it opened something in my head and it clicked, and it made me think differently, and it helped me get through it. And then since then to now, man, I want to thank you personally on a personal note, not only as on our podcast as we share, as a friend, but as a brother. Thank you.
Okay.
You opened my eyes to a lot, man. And I start school the 28th of this month. My graduation date is set for November 22nd. And throughout all of this, man, I got a phone call a week after I spoke to Coach Munoz about the negativity that was around me in the classes and whatnot. And, my advisor, Mr. Sims, was like, hey, man, you still interested in taking these classes? And I was like, fuck yeah, I am. He's like, how soon can you get here? And I was like, I'll be there in 30 minutes. And I jumped on my Harley and I got there in 10 minutes. Banged down the 91 or the 110 and got off on Redondo. I went in, signed paperwork, took care of everything. I got measurements for my shirts last week, for my mask, for my gloves, for my jackets. And I was ecstatic and I was happy. And throughout this whole process, I've talked to Coach Munoz about this, and I've told Coach Munoz, and Coach Munoz told me, you see, when you stay positive, when you stay ready, and you avoid the negativity, things fall into place.
Right.
My mindset is totally different now. Like I look at it now as I can't be negative in any way. And this is also falls in a, like, I'm not subject with you because you do the whole aura, the positivity, and the whole. So now that I look,
the way that you talk to yourself is very important. If you're
Right.
always, around that, it's just gonna hold you down.
yeah, definitely. So, I was just like, okay. So I got my schedule, and I left my schedule on top of my computer, my desk, and the negativity that I was receiving while I was at home, I was just like, this is what I expect to come home to. It's like, this is what I'm looking for on a daily basis. Like, now, you know what, man, I'll just distance myself from you, and I'll keep you at a distance.
Mm-hmm.
And anybody that doesn't feel that I can become something, just sit back, relax, and watch. Because when this is done, you're gonna fucking want to come to the party. You're gonna want to come and hang out. You're gonna want to fucking get work. And it's not gonna happen like that, because when you closed your door on me, when I was needing you to back, and I don't need people to back me up. I don't need people to stand behind me. I know who my people are. I know the circle that I have is backing me up. And honestly, man, like I said, tell you again, thank you.
Mhm.
You know, like,
You're welcome.
you kept that positivity in me. You fed me the positivity, and now I'm moving with it, bro. Because had I not been that you told me about this or do it, I don't think I would have done it.
You know, and it falls back, like, I think about it, right? And the more I do, the more it makes sense. You know, I'm turning 40 in a couple of weeks.
I'm 43, bro.
You know?
We're not getting
And
any younger.
Oh, shit. You're not, bro.
You're turning 21, right?
I'll be 21 in August. Yes.
You know what I'm
Our
saying?
age.
But see, this is the thing, though, like, and it's talking a topic, because I remember you were like 16 or 17. We went up to the hike to Griffith Park, and we had a conversation about, you know, what you wanted to do, and I brought this up to your attention. I'm like, you've been doing makeup for a very long time. Why don't you look into something that goes that avenue? Because to be honest with you, it's not that college is the only way to go, because it's not.
It's really not.
You know what I'm saying? I find it that some people are good with their brains.
Right.
Some people are great with their hands.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever you learn in school, in a sense, academically, is not going to give you 100% the tools to go out into the real
Oh,
world.
definitely.
That's
I don't
one,
use
right?
jack shit from high school.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, even in college, it's until you're in it hands on,
Exactly.
you're not
You
going to
don't
learn it. You don't. You know?
I heard on, I think it was another podcast or maybe Instagram, like Reels or whatever. It was like, how is a professor at a college who, you know, gets paid all this money but has so much student debt going to tell you how to make $1 million? And he doesn't even have $1 million.
Thank you.
Yep.
And that's my
That's
my point.
That's a perfect point. That's
You know what I'm saying? You
definite
have plumbers, you have estheticians, you have people that went through a 9-month trade that are going to be making maybe the same amount of money, if not even more, because then it comes down to like, all right, perfect. Now you're not just filling out job applications. Now you know what you're into,
point. Right.
right? You're an esthetician. Esthetician. You're starting your career, and you're already not even 21. I didn't even know what I wanted to do till like I was like 36, and I told you that.
I'll tell you this much: I was partying at your age. I partied like a motherfucker. I was always that. I don't want to do shit. I don't want to do shit but party and drink and meet girls.
What helped me out the most, and I'm gonna tell you right now, the best and the worst thing that could have happened is what happened when you were like 1.5. You left. In the way, because I was like, what now? Right? What now?
For those of you who don't know, my parents split up. I moved to Colorado with my mom.
Yep.
My dad stayed out here.
Right? So then I remember calling my buddy. I'm like, dude, I need a job. You know, whatever. And I hadn't talked to this buddy like for over 10 years. And I still remember his phone number. His mom's house number. Because at that time, nobody really had phones.
Right.
Because cell
But it was
phones.
crazy because we always remembered
The
our
house.
good friends, the people that we know that we can count on.
Right.
We remembered their numbers.
And I never went to high school with them. Never went to junior high with them. Never went to elementary school. The only reason I knew them because we played soccer. That was it.
I have a friend like that.
You know what I'm saying? And I called his mom's number. I could say it, but I'm not gonna say it. I still remember to this day.
You could just say the area code.
Yeah, 213. But he's like, don't worry, bro. I'll make sure I'll hook you up with a job. And I was working as a janitor, you know. And then I probably worked there for a couple of months, and then I was picking up like trash over at parking structure where Chin Chin's is that now, formerly known as PF Things. Right? Picking up trash, picking up like used condoms, and I was like, I looked at myself and I'm like, dude, this is not it. This is not for me. I'm fucking 23 years old. You know what I'm saying? This is not for me. And I called school, went through the freaking medical assistant program, boom, finished, honor rolls, and started working. I worked in that organization for 14 years. And the proudest moment for me, when I was able to take Sidney to work and have her sit on my desk. That was one of the proudest moments ever.
And that's one of the things that as parents, we want to see our kids thrive and be better than us.
Exactly.
And like I told my son, when you graduate high school, I don't want you to take a year off. While your brain's still fresh and functioning, choose what you want to do. Oh, he tells me like, I want to be an architect. Okay. And I asked him, what type of architect?
Right.
Because there's several architects you can become. You can become an art architect, a building engineer. He told me an engineer. Correction, I stand correct. An engineer. I said, what type of engineering do you want to do? building engineering? You know, do you want to do mechanical engineering? What kind? What? He's like, well, you know, he kind of stutters and he catches himself. And I was like, look, Mijo, you're about to become a junior in high school. You have 2 years left. You can decide what you want to do and when you want to do it. But right now, I said, focus on school and just give yourself a list of 5 things you want to do. I said, because you're not going to get out of school and you're not going to go to work. I said, I'm not going to have that. I said, if that's the case, you sign up and you go to the military. Pick the fucking branch you want. But if you score high on that ASVAB, you're going to get a good job. I said, but you can go to college, get a college degree, and if you decide to pursue the military life, you will become an officer. You will have a better job. I said, but I think the military would be the last thing I want you to do, and I want you to focus on yourself. I said, I want you to focus on something you feel that you're gonna love to do. I said, don't pick something because they tell you, oh, graphic design is available, architectural structure engineering is available. You wanna do building engineering, then you go after that building engineering. There is no, you can't have that. It's, you can have that. You can become what you want. You will become what you want if you believe in yourself. I said, I believe in you. Your mom can believe in you. All your friends can believe in you. But if till you believe in yourself, you will not become what you want.
Right.
And I heard this a couple of weeks back listening to motivational speaking, something that I got from you. And I shared it with my son. And he's just like, okay. And honestly, man, like we talked about, you love what you do. You love what you do. Shit, I love welding, and I haven't even started. You know what I mean? Like, I've done a little bit of welding, and I love it.
Right.
You know, like for a lot of people that are just wondering, I'm going to school for welding. I graduate November 22nd. Upon completion of my graduation, I'm going to pick up a scuba diving course so that I can do underwater welding. Now, I know people that are listening will be like, fuck, he's not going to do it. He isn't going to be able to do it. Some people are like, hell yeah, dude, go for it. The negativity that you send this way, it's just going to get fed. It's just going to feed the positivity, and I'm just going to continue to push.
Right.
You know?
And let me ask you something. Because you've had, how old were you when you started working?
My very first job?
Yeah.
I was 14. It was my Nina's restaurant. I was a hostess.
And how did you like that?
I was a hostess and a busser. I hated it.
At 14, yeah, wait, fuck, I did it too, but it's money in the pocket.
It is, because, you know, both you and my mom were very much like, we'll pay for your school. We'll pay for whatever clothes you need for school. We'll pay, you know, for lunch every now and then.
Other day, she'll starve.
PBJs.
I'll just get school lunch because I got free school lunch.
But high school lunch is a shit though. I loved it.
Dude, the other day, I'm sorry to cut you off, at Lace it. Oh, at school.
Rewind that. Cut it.
They're giving you know, the lunches that they don't give out right after school.
To homeless?
To I guess students.
Oh.
So there
Hungry
was
fucks,
yeah.
stoners.
They had the coffee cakes. Oh my god! I brought 3 bags.
You brought 3 bags,
Yeah.
full bags?
Yeah.
Or the little bags?
No, they were like apples, whatever meal. It was a full meal. Nah, I finished the full. Anyways, so we were 14.
Yes. So if I wanted to get my nails done, if I wanted to get makeup, new clothes,
Right,
new
obviously.
shows, I had to pay for that.
Right.
So that's kind of what pushed me to keep working, is because I was like, I like getting my nails done, and I like doing that, going out with my friends on the weekends, and you know, that kind of stuff. And restaurant, when you're that young, it sucks.
It's overwhelming.
It is, because, you know, I would go to school. During the week, I had gymnastics practice, so I was, you know, there and, you know, at school from 7 o'clock in the morning till 8:30, 9 p.m. Go home, shower, do homework, eat, go to sleep. Friday night or Saturdays, I'd work, and it sucked because I would get off at 11, and we were in high school, so by that time, you know, it was time to go to bed, go home. And then eventually I stopped doing gymnastics, started doing cheer. I don't know, it just, you know, work it sucked. I hated it.
It took a lot of your time?
It really did.
Yep.
And especially starting that young, I think it kind of pushed me to be like, oh, I don't want to keep doing this. You know, when I'm in my 20s, I don't want to keep working in a restaurant for minimum wage, not shit tips.
Yep.
Working all night.
People talking shit to you because they don't get their food on time.
Right,
My
and I
food's
think
cold.
nowadays, especially with COVID, I don't know if it's just because of COVID, but people have felt a lot more entitled.
Well, because it's just, on top of that,
Mm-hmm.
they're, like you said, they feel entitled. But two, they're short-staffed at a lot of places.
They are very short
Because nobody wants to go back to work.
No,
Oh, but
because everybody's finding what they love.
then there's people on each corner saying, times are rough, can you help me?
You know, sorry to jump off subject. I saw a lady. I was getting off the freeway one day on La Cienega. It was a Latina lady. She had a sign that she had just lost somebody in a death to cancer. Now, mind you, when you bring up cancer, it's a touchy subject for me because my father passed from cancer. My mother survived cancer on both of her breasts. So I've lost my grandma, my grandpa, and I've said it in a previous podcast. So what got me was the fact that she was standing there. And I felt bad, but she looked like my mom. Like, you know, like una señora latina, like my mom. I went in my pocket, my wallet, pulled out my wallet. I had $100 in cash, 20s. And I just remember, like, okay, I'm going to pay this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to take this. You know what? I pulled the 20 out. I'm like, I can withdraw money later. I lowered the window and I called her over and I handed her $20. And she said, thank you. And I said, I'm sorry for what you're going through. She walked back. I left. A week later, again, I'm getting off the freeway. And I see her again. But she's dressed differently. She still had the sign. I was like, okay. I have $5 in my wallet. Went out and grabbed the $5. And it's not because I feel bad that I'm giving her the money. It's just sometimes I feel that, I think it's, to me, it's just me personally. I just feel that it's God disguised as a human, testing my humility, see how humble I am.
Mm-hmm.
So of course, I'm gonna have the cash, I'm gonna give it to her. No, not thinking like God's gonna give this to me 10 times better. No, I'm like, here you go. I turn the corner and I go up the street and I see a lady, okay, with a sign, two of them, and with a sign that says they're trying to help somebody with leukemia with a can on the bottom, and they got little kids with them, dude, and they're walking in between cars, and
that's the worst.
But here's the thing, though, I noticed that some of those people, they're scam artists. They're just there to collect money.
Right.
And like you said, they want free money. And I feel bad because it's like, I'm not nobody to judge, but you look familiar. Like, I know I've seen you somewhere. And then come to think about it, she was in, I don't know, La Cienega and Olympic. Okay? And I was like, where did I see her before? She was over by my mom's exit on Normandy and the 10. 2 weeks prior. And she was wearing Nikes, like clean Nikes.
Like the ones I had on today.
Yeah.
Nah, like your Air Forces compared to that, to what she had, like she had the Air Maxes that are like $130. And she said that she's not working, that she has no money. And again, I'm not being judgmental, but
Go take those feet off your shoes
before you ask for money, take a bite of those fucking shoes.
Right.
Because if you're gonna spend $130 on some shoes like that, and you got somebody that's dying from leukemia or whatever the disease is that they're dying from, you can second guess yourself and say, do I need those $130, or can I use those $130 to pay for this?
Right.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So again, I'm not being judgmental, but it's just like, yo, like, you can't sit out here and ask for something for free like that when you got that on your feet. Like, how are you upgrading yourself, but you're not helping upgrade that person that needs this?
Right.
So it's like she just said, people want free stuff. Everybody just wants to find a way to make money and get free money,
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, it doesn't work like that, because we all work for our money.
100%.
You know? I mean, the job that I do now, it's like, okay, I came back from my injury. Shit, man, I started hating my job. Not hating it, but I'm just like, man, like, I can't wait till I get out of school so I can get to my other job.
Right.
You know, because it's like, I used to love to drive trucks. Now I don't. I don't like dealing with traffic unless I'm on my Harley,
Right.
because I can split traffic. But it's like, man,
It's tough. It's tough. And you know what? Like I said all the time, it's never too late to start doing something that you enjoy doing.
and this is why I'm doing what I'm doing, because you clearly put that in my head.
Right.
You told me you're never too old to go back to school. You're never too old to upgrade yourself. You are never too old to learn something new. And let me tell you guys, that shit is engraved in my head because of Coach. This is why I'm going to school, because I'm going to pursue what I want to do, what I love to do. So now I was told as of today, when I graduate, they want a new gate in their house. So I'm going to come and fix the gate up here at the house. So,
Dude, so how many job like, okay, so let's fast forward. You went through your school. How long did that take you?
School was 6 months. I went 3 days a week. During the first 3 months, I had a full-time job. I was working the other 4 days a week, 10 to 12-hour days. My mom used to tell me she's so proud of me because I would go to school and then the next morning I'm running out of the house going to work.
Adulting.
yep.
Very much.
So you were going to school, let's say Monday, Wednesday, Fridays.
Yep, that was my schedule.
And then you were working Monday through Friday.
Saturday through Sunday, or Sunday through Saturday. I was working Sundays, Tuesdays, Thursdays.
Oh, I see what you're
Saturdays.
saying. So you were rotating school with work.
Mhm.
So you would go to school Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and you would do school
Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday.
Tuesday,
Sunday.
Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. Hey, you know what, man?
It was rough.
That's a hustle. It is.
And then the second half of school, the last 3 months, I was like, you know what?
Fuck this.
Yep, let me not work. Finished school. I finished with all honors. I am a Aveda alumni.
Congratulations.
Did I say that
Yeah.
she's my daughter? Just saying, just throwing it out there.
And then after I graduated, I went back to the restaurant industry. Just kind of relaxed a little bit. You know, I got out of school and I was like, okay, that's done. Let me go back to work. And then, you know, some stuff happened in my life that I was like, you know, I definitely don't want to be in the restaurant industry anymore. I quit. We came out here to California for my mom's birthday. And then as soon as I got back, I scheduled both of my tests to get licensed.
You state exams, right?
Yes,
Okay.
my state boards.
Right.
Passed, and then I was just on Indeed all day.
ZipRecruiter too.
Yeah,
ZipRecruiter.
trying to find a job. And it was really hard because a lot of people were wanting at least a year experience. I left school with no experience, even though I had worked on people's faces, sold products, and got tips for the 3 months. Oh yeah, if you want to follow my beauty page, it's at Beauty by Sidney
You
M,
can
I
grab your
think.
phone. You can grab your phone. Don't worry, we're not big to that.
We'll make sure that we'll put a link at the bottom.
Yeah, it's at Beauty by Sidney M.
Okay.
Hey,
Yeah, and then I got my job. Yeah, now I'm chilling.
perfect. Yeah, so okay, so that's that, and you've been there a few months already.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
How do you like it? You love it?
I love it.
Do you have a clientele already? Like, do you have your
Yes.
actual clientele?
Yeah,
already?
so I do. I have a couple ladies that I see regularly now. And then we had, so the first month that I was like really by myself was, I think, or actually we did a contest in January to sell like our post-wax calming masks or something like that. I won it.
Hey.
Nice.
I got a free like $50 Amazon gift card from my boss, so that was pretty cool. Yeah, I love it. I really do. It's fun. I meet a lot of cool people.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you so much.
Definitely. And honestly, I think that's a good motivational way for you to reach out to other girls that think that they can't do anything or go to school and balance it. A lot of women nowadays, you know, I understand. I don't know everybody's situation. I don't know your financial situation or what your life looks like right now. But to be honest with you, if you take what she did, how she did it, and how she handled it, and you put it in perspective to your life, you can do it too. Like, you can really do it. There is no I can't. And the only reason you say you can't is because you don't want to, because you're complacent.
Mhm.
Honestly, I met you for the first time today.
Which is weird because you guys have been friends for so long.
We've been friends since junior high.
And we just retouched
We just
bases.
touched up, like we just caught up with each other like last year. And then we started talking, and we just wanted to start doing this. So I'm proud to know that there's women out there like you that decide to pick up whatever they have and start fucking going forward with it and move on and build something. Because nowadays, most women want to build their body before they build a house. They buy a house.
Right.
You know, and you're already structuring roots.
That's already, you know, speaking of houses, I do plan on buying a house within the next 3 years, I would say.
There you go. And that's a goal, you know what I mean? That's a goal that you have. Most girls nowadays at your age, their goal is like, oh, I want a bigger ass, I want a bigger tits, I want a tummy tuck, I want to
go out, I want to travel.
Yep.
I think what helped me is because this is really bad, sorry. I did a lot of that in high school. You know, I went out and I drank and I, you know, got fucked up.
We did it too.
I did all that in high school.
Speak for yourself. That's true. I never.
You know what? You didn't. You didn't. I mean, I was drinking in high school. I was really good. Like, I had soccer practice Tuesday, Thursday. I played with my dad on Saturdays, and I played with my club team on Sundays. So the only 2 days that I had left were technically homework or high school soccer, but I was never out drinking. I did the drinking stuff when you guys left. Mm-hmm. That's when I hit rock bottom, and I'm like, what the fuck? And it was only for like 6-7 months. Like, I slept in my car. Damn.
That's how fucked up I was getting.
Yeah.
But it just gives you a whole different perspective.
Right.
And then when she started coming back to visit us, you know, she'll tell you, I never really took time off. I will go to work, get my job done, and leave early.
Right.
But now you're seeing me take time off. Mm-hmm. But it's because all that work I've been able to put in.
Well, you put in the work to get where you're at.
You know, and I told her that one time, well, I'll never forget that hike either, because she asked me, you know, I asked her, she's like, yeah, I'm like, yeah, I smoke a little ganja myself.
I think you and I had this conversation before.
Yeah. Well, maybe like one of our previous podcasts. But I was like, if I tell you, don't do it, it's bad for you, is you just putting up a wall, like, man.
Why would I tell my dad?
Yep. Why would I tell my dad? But I was like, as long as you don't make it a habit, like you get stuck in it and you continue, you know what I'm saying? Like, you use it as a
medicinal purpose.
Whatever, right? And then you continue doing what you're doing, because if we get stuck doing that, we're never going to grow as a professional, right?
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, it's like, it took me 15 years to get back to school. I didn't know how close I was to finishing my prerequisites for nursing, you know? And then when I started working at the COVID clinic, I went to Children's Hospital, worked at the COVID clinic, and then I looked at the nurses and I'm like, I could be doing this shit.
Yep.
You know? And then I spoke to Ellie one night, on Friday night, and I forget that. I'm like, yo, if I'm doing this, it's going to be for myself. For nobody else.
Right.
This is for myself now. Oh, why is it that my mom and my dad have a college degree? Elizabeth has a college degree. Your mom has a college degree.
How come I don't?
How come I don't? You know, but then I don't regret absolutely anything that I've ever done in the past. I've been coaching at Laces at high school level for 15 years at the same high school. And then I see them, right, as technically almost like my kids already too.
Yep.
You know, I have kids that are misbehaved kids. I have kids that are, you know, stubborn. But they're all freaking, that's what kids do, right?
Exactly.
You know, it's just like, I have kids that don't have the grades, but they want to practice. What am I going to do, kick them out? No.
We did that. Our coach would kick us out of there because we didn't have the grades and you won't let us practice.
Right. Not me. It's like, what the fuck? Like, if I kick you out, I don't know where you're going to go.
Exactly.
Are you going to go and get in trouble, get high?
Well, look at the kids that we do.
You know what I'm saying?
Look what happened with us. I was ditched my 6th period.
To come hang out with us during practice.
To go hang out on the soccer field. I was the goalie. The coach liked me. Coach wanted me to play goalie. I'm like, but I'm not on the soccer team. He's like, what are you doing on the field? Playing. Where's your 6th period? Economics with Mr. I forget his name. He's like, well, you can just stay here. Don't worry about it. And I was like, all right, cool.
Right. And that's the thing, though. You know what I'm saying?
Because I told him I didn't like economics. He's like, well, you can stay
You're going to come, you come across people, right? You come across people like, oh my God, you know what? This guy making us some good advice. This teacher was good. This teacher was an asshole. You know? So think about it. If you get stuck, stranded in the street, and you're, let's just say, former students, will they pull over and help you? Or they'll like, fuck that
coach, yeah.
Right? You know? Or even vice versa. Like, how was your coach with you? You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Like I'll treat my kids like not my kids, right? But
your team.
my students, like
Right.
they're all my kids because I want to treat them as I want I coach or teacher to treat my kids
I told
with
you
the
what
utmost
happened to me.
respect.
I told you what happened to me when I was eating with my family, right?
No?
So I coached.
Yes, you did.
I did.
You did.
I told you, right?
Yeah, you did.
Yep.
It's one of the previous podcasts.
Yeah, it was crazy because I was telling your dad that I coach for the city of Paramount, and I was having lunch with my family,
Mhm.
and this kid kept staring at me, and my brother-in-law was like, "Hey, who's staring at you?" I'm like, "Oh, I don't know who the fuck this is." So when I turned around, he's like, "Hey, how you doing?" And I was like, "Who are you? What the fuck?" He took his mask off. He's like, "Coach, you remember me?" I was like, "Oh shit." It was one of my kids from soccer. And I hadn't seen this kid in maybe, I don't know, 8 years.
Mhm.
And for him to recognize me and thank me in front of my family for being such a positive influence in his life at that time, I was like, damn.
Well, because you never know what's going on in somebody's home life as
Agreed.
a student.
Yes, yes.
And how much of a big influence that one practice could make, or that one season could make on them. Especially at such a young age, we're very impressionable. And to be in a world where there's such negativity,
Definitely.
to have that one light on you,
She called me the light.
Hey, this is what you turn into. Your aura gets bigger.
Shit.
I like your ego.
Damn.
Damn, you could never let. That's 3 times today, bro.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I was like,
You can't let your head get too big,
No, you can't.
But no, for real, I still remember my coaches. I saw one of them after I went to the gym. I went to go get a protein shake. I saw her and I was like, "Oh my God, Tara!" She's like, "Sidney!"
It's nice.
It is.
Especially when they're a positive influence in your life. Like again, like you were saying, we don't know what's going on in the house.
Yeah.
The kid didn't have a dad. So to me,
You were that positive male
and
figure.
you know what? And at that time when I was coaching, when I finished coaching them on Saturdays, I would drive to a camp out and hang out with my brother and get drunk. I'm not gonna lie.
But they don't need to know that.
They didn't need to know that, but I would go down to camp.
Only our fans.
Yeah. Our only fans. But yeah, man, like I always see it as Coach Lake, for example. They're in Granada Hills. Stubborn ass old man. Fucking hated him because he talked shit. But man, can that man motivate the shit out of you. When I lost my JV tournament, my dad was there. I was crying. He's like, "You could have been a champion. You could have been a champion." This is Coach Lake yelling at my ass. And, I was crying. I left. When I came to school the next day, Coach Lake saw me in the morning. He's like, "Hey, man, you did great. But you could have done better."
Yeah. That's one of the things that I want people to take from me. You never want to think about what could have, should have.
That doubt.
That's
always that doubt.
When I left the community health center, dude, I was sad. You saw me. I didn't have to request days off. I would just let them know.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure that all of my patients were taken care of. I will go to work at 8 because I never wanted to ditch teaching a class for the patients.
Right.
Never. I could just reschedule my one-to-ones, which were the other days. But when I went to teaching the classes, never, because you need consistency.
Exactly.
Right? And it was they trusted me too much to let them down. But when I left and I went to work where I'm at now, it was just supposed to be like a weekend gig.
Mm-hmm.
But then something happened and I was like, no. I gave my 2-week notice. I left at 2:30 because I had to go coach soccer.
Okay.
So everything I've ever done it's been a blessing in the sky to be able to work around soccer.
Exactly.
Right? Everything.
But soccer's your passion.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So they're like, "When is your last day?" I'm like, "Oh, it's tomorrow."
Bye.
Bye. And then the following day I was gonna leave at noon because we had a game.
Right.
And then the CEO came over. She's like, "What happened?" I gave her all the beans and I was like, "Look, she's young enough to go out there and
Shake
shake it, figure things out, because I don't want to have any doubt. I don't want to. If I made this much of an impact in the community, what can I do outside? Right?
Mm-hmm.
And there you have it. It was just that moment. I had to just nail it down and be like, boom. And then when I came home after that game, got an ass whooped, and it was raining.
Oh,
it was raining. That long ass ride home. Came home. My wife was still at work, and I just started like doubting myself. Like, oh my God, did I take the right choice? Did I do that right thing? And no, dude, everything worked out just fine. I started teaching classes at elementary schools for PTAs and all this, and I started getting my feet wet, and then I ended up at
well, you
at the
taught at
university.
elementary schools?
Well, the PTA teachers.
Like they think you were a student, like at the elementary
Oh my
school?
goodness.
No? Asshole. You know what I'm saying? So I have parents working out while their kids were in class.
Right.
So that gave me the confidence in everything.
Okay, so let me ask, when you were teaching that, what were you teaching at the time?
Nutrition and health.
Okay.
Nutrition and fitness.
So a lot of you people that don't understand when he's speaking about teaching, he was teaching nutrition and health. He wasn't teaching dodgeball, right? Not that I'm trying to sound like a jerk or anything, make fun of him, but now a lot of people know what Coach Munoz does. He's a soccer coach, but he also knows health and fitness and nutrition.
So I started doing that and started like reaching out, because one of the things that I've learned is like if you don't ask, you're never gonna get an answer.
Exactly. Closed mouths don't get fed.
Right.
Exactly.
So it's like if it's a no, it's still an answer.
Of course.
Perfect.
Not maybe the answer you want.
But it's an answer.
Exactly.
And then you have to just come back and be like, oh, did I come up too blunt? Or how can I make my approach better? Right? And then you start building relationships. And that's what you want to do first.
Right.
So that when you ask you for something like, yeah, dude, let's do it. Rather than me coming at you like cold turkey, hey, you're like, dude, who the fuck are you? You know what I'm saying?
That way?
Yeah, exactly. So then that's how I ended up at the community health center as a consultant for their diabetes disease management program.
Nice.
You know, and when we were coming down to the financials, this was like the massive like contract that I had, right? I was asking people like, damn, how much the fucking charge, right? And then somehow this email that I forward got attached to my contact where I was gonna go.
Mm-hmm.
And then he reached out to me like, yo, you know, take a look at this, you know, through Glassdoor. I guess that's how much people get paid according to their. And I started looking at registered dietitians, and I'm like, these motherfuckers make this much? I do a fucking better job than these motherfuckers. Excuse my language, right? But I was like, oh fuck no. And I show you this. I was like, fuck it. I'm going all in. I'm going balls deep, right?
All in, hands are out.
Boom. I gave them everything that they wanted. Done. It was supposed to be for 6 months. It turned out to be close to 2 years.
There you go.
You know? So when it comes down to it, like, you can do it too. It doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah.
You know? You just commit to it. Because it's not something that I just recently started doing. It's something that I've been doing for the past 15, 20 years.
You perfected your craft. That's the thing. Like,
You know?
you're still continuously trying to perfect your craft.
So now it's like, you know, like we've talked with Sidney multiple times, like, just fucking do it. Like,
that's what I tell my friends now. You know, some of my friends want to go back to college, and, you know, do a trade or go, you know, whatever.
It's never too late.
Do it. And we're only in our 20s. Keep in mind.
I'm 43 and I'm going back to college to take this course.
And I think
exactly. So I think to me, it's like, well, I get a head start.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Because I think trade is a great opportunity, is a fantastic opportunity, as just the gateway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, like, you don't have to be stuck in it, but yet you're not in debt.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing in
Definitely.
debt. Right? And you're like,
take-
I didn't spend 4 years and get into all this debt. No, dude, I just did 9 months, no debt. I have a solid job, but I want to continue pursuing this.
Right.
Well, and that's the
But
thing
you
with
have something-
aesthetics is why I got into it too, is because it's not just waxing and facials.
Mm-mm.
You go into eyelash extensions, permanent makeup, body sculpting,
Don't they do the
injectables.
tattooing thing as well?
That's permanent makeup,
Okay.
yeah.
I don't know about that stuff.
A whole bunch of stuff.
Maybe she can do my beard and make it look darker all the time.
And then I think,
Yeah, we need to do something with that.
with that.
Yeah,
This is my facial hair.
I'll help you, bro. I'll help you. Like esthetician style. No, you know what? Like what you're speaking on, it's if you want to become an esthetician, for example, you can do that, and then you can go to school for something else. Because obviously, if you want to go to culinary school, you're an esthetician, and you can go to culinary school. So you have two crafts that you can use. And even if you don't like becoming a chef, you can always go to school for something else, business management, whatever it is, and obviously you'll have the experience with your esthetician, your chef, and business management. And at that point, hey, you have 3 different trades. You can make at least 1 or 2 out of those 3,
right?
Because if you use a business management to run a restaurant or a spa,
or have 2 things running at once.
Yeah. Yep.
So it's just the possibilities are endless.
Yep.
Exactly.
It just has to come within you.
Right. So what is your message to young adults? What would you tell them to start doing now, or what would your message be for them?
I guess just it's fucking hard, but keep your head up and keep pushing.
There you go. Yeah.
Fucking hard. Keep your head up and keep pushing. Is that what you said? Perfect. Love it. That's great.
Yeah. Definitely. A lot of kids nowadays don't have their head screwed on as tight as she does. Mind you guys, I want to give you guys an update on, I don't know if I told you, the kid that I used to work with at Home Depot. So he looked like my son. So I would call him Mijo. And he joined the Army. He graduated this January. And he wanted to do it because he wants to become a police officer.
Okay.
He said it sucked. It was hard, but he still did. And like Sidney, he went when he was like 20. He's like 24. All right. And now he's going to go back to college to continue his criminal justice. Yeah. So you're never too old. And it's never too late. It's never too late.
And it's funny that you say that it's never too late or never too old, right? Because you remember Grandpa, he was a driver for Honda. When he came, whatever. And then he shared with you earlier today that he got a certificate through welding. He was welding.
Yeah.
He was hustling. He will, build. He had his business card. He'll throw him in any construction site.
Yeah, definitely.
He will get the call, and he will pass down the job to someone else.
Yeah.
He'll get a commission. He did that. He was a mechanic. So he worked on all of our cars the entire time. And I think lastly, because my mom was the one that opened up the medical field for all of us, he became a phlebotomist.
Yeah. He was actually sharing that with me today.
Yeah.
He told me. He was saying that, he had his friends that are like, nah, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. Veered him away a long time ago, he said. Yeah. And finally now that he's like, I went back and I did it. And I'm like, damn, you know what? Like, shit.
Yeah.
That's great.
Right.
Exactly. How old's your pops?
60.
Let's just say
60.
In his 60s, okay? He's in his 60s and he has a college degree in the medical field. Okay? It should serve as a purpose for anybody that thinks that, oh, it's too late to go to school.
But see, this is the thing though. It comes down with, number 1, priorities, right?
Yeah.
2, do you really have it? Do you really want to better yourself? If you really want to better yourself, you set that as a priority.
It's just some people are too complacent in a little square.
Which I think it's fine.
Right.
Right. And to
be happy in your little square.
Thank you.
But be happy doing what you want to do in your square.
Ultimately,
exactly.
As long as you're happy doing what you're doing.
Exactly.
There's this guy that invented the Cheetos, hot Cheetos. Roberto.
That's not me, bro.
No, Roberto Montalban.
Something. He was Mexican guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
His grandpa told him, you can be a janitor and you have to take pride in your job. Because when people walk down that hallway, they want to make sure that you did that. And I see it at work all the time. Our hallways, our restrooms. I already know that my cleaning lady, she
does her job.
Right? I buy her coffee sometimes, you know?
Yeah, dude.
I treat her like, here's my ATM, go get yourself a breakfast.
I'm gonna go fill up my gas tank. I'm gonna go...
No, but for real, but you know what I mean?
Of course.
Like, you gotta show appreciation.
And a lot of people look at it. I was raised. It doesn't matter what job you do. Okay, so my father raised me to give everybody the same form of respect. And I saw this on a meme. And it was Matt Hardy that said, I was raised to give the janitor the same respect that you would give the CEO.
Agree.
And a lot of people look at a janitor and like, fucking pick some trash and whatnot. It's a fucking job that you're not gonna fucking.
And this is my fight. This is my 2 cents. During this whole entire
pandemic
that we're going through right now.
Right.
The bus driver deserves the same respect.
Yep.
Our trash people,
guys.
Everyone at the gas station,
Yep.
at the grocery stores,
Mm-hmm.
everyone that continue to work is essential. Because when people are praising the nurses, don't get me wrong, yes, but what about our housekeepers?
Mm-hmm.
They go to every single room regardless. Our nurses, okay. Doctors, all right. But it's not just them.
What about the nannies? What about the nurses? The cleaning ladies? What about the landscapers? What about the truck drivers that deliver the food to the markets, or the truck
everything?
Drivers, you know,
we all have a purpose.
Right.
Right. We all have a purpose.
Right.
We all have a reason for doing a specific task that continues to move the entire economy.
Exactly.
You know? So my 2 cents are treat everyone like Matt Hardy said, right?
Mm-hmm.
With the same utmost respect. Because we're all human beings.
Exactly.
And we all have feelings. At the end of the day, we're gonna continue to do whatever makes us happy.
Exactly.
Whether you agree with it, it makes me happy. That's all that matters.
Pretty much.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Where can they find you? Social media?
Instagram, like I said, Beauty by Sidney M. It's my beauty page, my SD page. My main page is just Sidney M. Munoz. That's pretty much all the social media I have.
Okay.
Definitely. And you can also follow us on Instagram, Coach_and_BigRob. We just opened the page up today. We will start sending out requests. Send out your requests. We will follow you right back. We will be doing live feeds on that when we get a chance to start doing more videos, and we will be uploading more videos as we did today. It's our first video, so we will be putting them up on YouTube under Coach Munoz's YouTube page. So stick around.
Yeah.
More exciting.
Aww. Good job.
More exciting episodes coming up, brother.
All right.
Definitely.
Pleasure.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in tonight. We appreciate you guys. We will hopefully be getting another podcast out, hopefully within the next couple of weeks or days. You know.
And we are shooting in front of the house.
Yes.
So, yeah, it's live. So you probably hear some loud music, some helicopters. It's
Probably
all
hear
right.
somebody bumping up the street. You know. It's all good. It's in the hood. Don't be scared.
All right, guys. Peace.